if you see like a Korean girl or like a American Korean girl, like which type are you like more attracted to? Yeah.
Oh, for me, it's Korean, because I
Okay.
guess I'm more exposed to that culture. But I don't know about you.
So this is really hard just because I mean
Okay.
I've only dated one before, like
Okay.
Korean American. So if I have to pick, obviously Korean American.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Like my thought was like maybe you guys would be like more attracted to like Yuexing Koreans or Korean people from Korea.
I mean, like what Joe said, I guess I'm more interested, like, I guess the 1.5 세대,
Okay.
because
Oh, okay.
people that have experienced both, I guess. 'Cause
yeah, I agree.
you get to connect better, in my opinion.
Another thing that I'm kind of curious about is like the living costs in different parts of this America.
Yeah, I can start with the Midwest. I would say Midwest or any rural area, they tend to be a lot cheaper, like
Okay.
in terms of cost of living, like rent or your mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
gas payment, or even like healthcare, things like that. But I would say Midwest is very affordable. I mean, I currently live in Utah right now, so I
Okay.
live in mountain states. I would definitely say cost of living here is a lot more expensive now compared to like 2 to 3 years ago,
Okay.
because nothing against people from California or
Oh
other
my.
places, but a lot of Californians and other people move to Utah. So real estate's kind of going crazy right now. A lot of things are kind of going crazy here in Utah. When I first moved here, I was like, man, this should be fine. This should be easy peasy. I can afford
Yeah.
everything. But
Right.
no, I was wrong, completely wrong. It's a lot of
A lot more
money
expensive.
other
Don't blame it
places.
on the Californians.
I'm
They
not.
did
I'm
nothing.
not. No, they didn't do anything. I got not. I mean, I love California, California people. It's just more like the whole transition kind of, it's kind of going crazy right now in the states.
What's it like in
Yeah.
Cali?
Oof, Cali. I can only tell you the prices before COVID. The rent is probably the most expensive thing that
Mm-hmm.
you'll ever pay. So all the food prices can be like similar to Midwest. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on where you go, like the Asian places. But mostly, like if you go to nice brunch places or even like good foods, you're gonna pay a hefty price for some food.
What's like
Gas.
a night out? Like how much would you pay for like a night out with like
Oh, let's say
some
you're going on a
friends?
date night with your girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll easily spend like a couple $100 for
A
sure.
couple hundred?
Yeah, that's expensive,
Oh
Wow.
my.
especially with the tip and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and also if
yeah.
you live in LA, like if you have a car, parking's also
Mm.
costs a lot of money there.
Oh.
One thing that I want to mention, especially in the Bay Area, is window break-ins if you own a car.
Oh, really? Is it common?
There's a lot is very common, and the
Oh.
police don't really do anything over there. So it's like, even for me, my personal experience, I had nothing in my car, and they still broke in,
What?
didn't steal nothing. Yeah, I've had that a couple times, and it's just a pain. But
That's so annoying.
We
Yeah.
had to have a pit stop in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and John asked me to specifically go in the garage and pay for the parking just because when you go to big city, they can easily break in. But at the same time, I'm still living in Missouri, and I didn't
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
And then once I just ignored John, I started
Right.
parking in an open
Yeah.
space, and
Right.
then when we got out of the car next door, right next door, straight up the windows are all broken down. People took
Oh
all kinds of
my.
stuff in the car. After I saw that, I told John, I'm like, okay, that was a mistake. So let's go back to the garage. And yeah, so any type of like
um,
big city, like advice, I would definitely listen to what John
John
says.
says,
Like,
Xi'an is
yeah,
Korea's is the safest country.
yeah, stuff like
It's
that. You don't really have to
for sure.
worry about too much.
Yeah.
Like if you go to cafes, like in
Mm,
Korea, they just leave their bag on the table to like
yeah.
take that space, and then they'll go to the counter to order coffee or like go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. And then you can expect it being there. But like if you're in downtown, like Austin, Washington, like downtown, like bus stops, like if you leave something somewhere for like a minute, it's gonna be gone. Fuck
yeah,
that.
the Korea, it was wild because like I remember like last year I got in this train and I know like my phone was dying.
Mm-hmm.
So in the train, there's like a like wireless charging station. So I literally put my
Yeah,
phone there
yeah,
and I went back to my seat. And maybe like 30 minutes later on, like
yeah,
I went back, my
yeah.
phone's still there. I'm just like, dude, this is wild.
No, that's the norm. That should be
That's the
normal.
norm.
I want beer.
A little bit more about the living costs for the space where you're living. Like how much is it? Like how much is it for like rent for where you're living at Joe and at John's place?
So I live in the city called Roy because my work's in Roy. I mean, the average rent price here is around like 1300, 1400.
Okay.
So it's not that bad. I pay around 1450 because I wanted to get 2 bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in 2 bedroom, 2 bath for like 1450 here.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not that bad, but compared to my life in Kansas City, I would say it's a lot more just because in Kansas City, I pay like luxury 1 bedroom apartment for like 1100.
What about John?
Yeah, so I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana. I currently live close to the city, so it's
Mhm.
more like in a nicer area.
Mhm.
So I pay around like $1,600 for a one
Mhm.
bedroom. But you can actually find nicer places around here, like in the suburbs, even New Orleans, around like 1100, 1200.
When are you guys' next plan? Next time you'll be in Korea.
I mean, this year for sure for me. I don't know about Joe.
Yeah, I don't know about myself just because I'm planning to move out of Utah in a couple months
Okay, where you headed?
because I'm planning on moving to Dallas, Texas. So
Oh.
so hopefully, let's say by next spring, I would say. Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully.
Joe can take us bar hopping.
I
Yeah,
mean,
for
I mean, I've
sure.
only I've only went out twice to Hongdae and then went to Itaewon, and
Okay.
that was about it. Yeah.
Okay.
You say Itaewon like a American. Itaewon.
Oh.
John's giving you some flack there.
Yeah. No, but even in Korea, like whenever I met some Korean people, automatically they're like, "Okay, you sound American,
Yeah.
plus you have a lot of
Mm,
경상도 사투리."
Oh, damn,
Yeah,
that's a
just
weird
because
mix. I
I know it's hella weird, just because like, my mom and my dad they're both from
Right.
Daegu,
Right, right,
so
right, right.
I have a
so
question for you, Peter.
Yeah, for sure.
So do people when they talk to you, do they know that you also grew up in outside of Korea or?
Um, so it's like this. Initially, they don't know. They don't know.
Hmm,
But if I
yeah.
tell them my story, like I say, oh, but I grew up like outside of Korea. I went to school in the States, and they're like,
Hmm.
oh, that's why. And I'm like, that's what it was. Like that's why you speak
Oh, that's
Korean
what.
like that. Because my Korean isn't like 100% like accent
Yeah.
wise. It isn't 100% like Korean. Like I speak Korean, but it's like grammar is in English.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes they catch that out, but they don't know unless I tell them. It's about time to wrap up our podcast.
Hopefully we didn't ruin your episode.
No, it was pretty good. I think we shared a lot of like meaningful stuff. We did some good
Yeah.
light topics. Pretty good I think
Yeah.
overall.
oh, it was great. I mean, there were a little pressure in the beginning just because this is like my first podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, my daily job, I'm always on the phone with different people. So I love this thing. So
Nice, nice.
I love talking. So yeah,
It was nice to have you guys on. It's just time to say goodbye to our audience.
Thank you,
th-
everyone.
thank you all.